U.S. critical infrastructure is being threatened. The culprit, cybercrime. We're now just finding out that a Russia-linked hacking group is suspected of carrying out a cyber attack on a Texas water facility back in January. The information comes from a U.S. cybersecurity firm called Mandiant. The hack caused a water tank just like this one, which could be seen all over Texas, to overflow for about 45 minutes in the small town of Muleshoe. And two other Texas towns detected suspicious cyber activity on their networks around the same time. Experts from Mandiant say those who claimed responsibility have a history of hacking and links to a notorious unit of Russia's military intelligence agency. If confirmed, this would mark a huge escalation on Russia targeting our infrastructure. So why are they seeking out our water supply, and what's stopping them from attacking other vital infrastructure like our power plants, turning off our lights? Gus Serino is a cybersecurity expert and president of INC Secure. Gus, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, so it's not only Russia. Back in November of last year, Iran was blamed for hacking a water plant in Pennsylvania. So how serious is this threat of hacking to our infrastructure?
It's definitely a serious threat. Cyber is absolutely a component of modern warfare. Just recently, the U.S. intelligence community came out with a threat report looking at this year's threats, and cyber was right there in there. China, Iran, Russia all have active programs looking to infiltrate U.S. infrastructure, and we have to defend it. It is defendable, though.
So this town that got hacked in Texas back in January, Muleshoe, it's a very small town. It only has a population of around 5,000 people. Why are they targeting such small towns?
Yeah, it's a good question. And really what it boils down to necessarily isn't that they are specifically being attacked from a strategic level. Oftentimes what we're finding is adversaries like this one from Russia, where they scan the internet looking for servers or computers that are directly connected to the internet that are vulnerable and can be exploited. Then they use known tools to exploit those to gain access to these environments. And that's really what it boils down to. It's not that they are looking to attack Muleshoe directly. It's usually around scanning and finding something exploitable and then using their tools to gain access.
So essentially low-hanging fruit here. Last month, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, he warned state officials and water authorities to shore up their cyber defenses. What responsibility does the U.S. government play here and have, or is this more of a state's issue?
So I think the U.S. government's responsibility is to give clear guidance as to what needs to be done and allow that guidance to flow down to the state level, to the local regulators. Those regulators need to work with the communities to make manageable regulations so organizations can start to take steps to get rid of this low-hanging fruit that we're talking about. So it's really about giving clear guidance, passing it down to the states, and then engaging the private sector, who are really the experts at shoring up these weaknesses, to let them go and give them the tools and the funding that they need to get this done.
Let me ask you this before we go, because in February, many people probably remember this, there was an AT&T outage. Millions of people lost their service. The company blamed it on an update, but the FCC is actually investigating it. Is this something Russia or some of these other adversaries are capable of actually doing?
So I think it's important not to go to cyber when something goes wrong. Technology can just break. And I think that's actually what happened in this case is there was a patch that took down some components of that infrastructure. It really wasn't cyber related. And that's it. And that we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions and assuming it's the boogeyman when it's not always. And I think that's the case in it.
Okay, appreciate the insight. Gus, good to see you. Thanks for your time.